And after the war is over, you rebuilt Germany and you rebuilt Japan, and the black man is here in America, not living in a decent house, without a job, his children destroyed. Figure it out. You gotta be sober to see the tricks that's going down to rob you of your future, black man and woman. We fought in Vietnam and in Korea. Figure it out. What is Martin Luther King's life worth to us? Figure it out. What are our leaders' lives and black organizations destroyed by government policy? Figure it out. And when you lay down what you owe us the whole damn country, and we're not asking for that. Figure it out. We're not asking for that. All we're asking is for justice. And that's the time. If you don't give us justice, you may lose it all. So black students, you get busy. And you stop all this partying and foolishness. And you get your act together. As of tonight, you put down that reefer, and you put down that crack, and those pills and that drugs, and get your head screwed on right. You cannot live today with a half-high head. You gotta be sober to see the tricks that's going down to rob you of your future, black man and woman. Clean it up. Don't come to Illinois State trying to make a white university relevant to black people. That's wasting valuable time. Come here and extract the knowledge and then go back and use it to build your community, build your people. Build for yourself. Don't you come out of here looking for a job. Come out with a mind to try and create a job. Do you hear me, brothers and sisters? Stop all this talk about I am an alpha, I am an omega, I am a kappa, I am a sigma, I am a delta, I am an AKA. What is that but more Greek letters? Jesus said, I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending, saith the Lord. Come together. Stop all this talk. Stop all this talk about I'm a Baptist, I'm a Methodist, I'm an Episcopalian, I'm a Jehovah's Witness, I'm a Church of God in Christ, I'm holiness, I'm Pentecostal. Stop that kind of talk. Jesus never spoke like that. Speak as he spoke. He was baptized, but he wasn't a Baptist. Talk to me. He never said he was a Methodist. He said, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. He never said, I'm a Catholic. He said, I am the light of the world, meaning I'm universal. He never said, I'm a Jehovah's Witness, but it's a fact he was the witness of Jehovah. No question about it. He never said, I'm holy. He said, if the first fruit is holy, then the lump is also holy. He never said I'm Pentecostal, but without Jesus appearing before the disciples, there wouldn't be any day of Pentecost. These are your denominations. These are your divisions. Prophet Muhammad never said he was Sunni. He gave us the Sunnah. He never said he was Shiite. But through his daughter Fatima, he had Hussein and Hassan. Huh? Come on. He never said he was Hanafi.
Welcome back to my YouTube commentary. Thank you so much for being here. I love you, and I thank you so much for watching my videos. Now, I'm gonna react on a video of Minister Louis Farrakhan. Okay? So many years has passed down, like 30 years, and the message he gave Africans, the message he gave to black people, it is still standing up to now. Okay? Louis Farrakhan, many years ago, told us that America will fall. Okay? And he told black people that's not their fight, that this struggle to save a crumbling empire is not the fight of black people. Okay? Up to now, the words of Minister Louis Farrakhan is still standing. And family, if you open your eye and look what is happening in America right now, the political chaos, the economic decline, you know, the division between races, the loss of power around the world, its influence going down, then you will see exactly what Farrakhan told us, what Farrakhan warned black about. It is unfolding. But the question is, what does this mean to our black people? But before we answer that question, I want you to watch these clips here, and then I'm coming back with my full commentary.
That's your stuff. Be what he was. He was a Muslim. He submitted his will to do the will of God. Be what Jesus was. Jesus never said, I'm a Christian. Not one time. He never called his disciples Christians. Did you know that? They were called Christians at Antioch by the enemies of Jesus. Jesus said, not my will, but thy will be done. He submitted his will to do the will of God. Come on. So let us do that. Stop all this division, and let's come together as a family and love each other and respect each other and work for the good of each other, uphold each other in right, and above all, respect and protect and honor your women. Respect, protect, and honor your women. And to the white students, if you will sit down with these black students in an honest dialogue, without hypocrisy, maybe tomorrow you might make better sense than tonight. Maybe after hearing what Farrakhan had to say, it didn't necessarily drive you further apart, you already apart. Maybe it gave you something, a basis upon which to start an honest dialogue. And through dialogue, maybe you might learn to respect each other. And as I said on the Donahue show, white students, think about it. You didn't come in a vacuum. You study biology, and you learn Mendel's law. You know that dark skin is dominant and light skin is recessive. No, this ain't no black supremacy. Just that the truth is supreme. You know that dark eyes are dominant and light eyes are recessive. And you teach that you can get the recessive from the dominant. But you can't get the dominant from the recessive. So two white people can only produce white. You can never produce yellow. It's just not in your genetic makeup to do that. It's a biological, mathematical impossibility. But the black man can produce from jet black people an albino with blonde hair and light eyes, showing you that in us is the whole human family of the earth. And from the black man, whom the Honorable Elijah Muhammad called the original people of the earth. That's why you're black. You're not black because you're cursed. You're black because you are the original life in the universe. Yes. Yes. You say, I can't believe it. And I thought I was black and ugly. No, no. You are black and beautiful because you are original. Just be yourself. Don't try to be white people. Be you. Fall in love with you. Jesus said, love your neighbor as who? Yourself. So you can't love your neighbor if you don't love yourself. So fall in love with yourself, then maybe you'll be able to love your neighbor. And since you don't live in nobody else's neighborhood, I guess your neighbor looks just like yourself. And they got a job for you. Wrong thought. Wrong thought. As factories in America close down and move to Mexico and other places where labor is cheap, black folk more and more out of work. If you think that white folk are going to prepare jobs for you, you got another thought coming. You are here at Illinois State to learn that which will allow you to create a job for yourself. And if you don't do that, then your learning has been in vain. Do you hear me? Just like the basketball team, maybe one or two of those black stars will make the NBA. The rest of them, if they don't have anything up here, after they graduate, that's it, brother. You played beautifully when you were here, but when we can't use you no more, that's the end of that. And to the white students, the world is changing so fast. You cannot face the world that is coming in with the mind of white supremacy. That mind will render you incapable of handling what you're about to see. What you are seeing signs of heavily now. You got a few more minutes? Here is a verse of the Quran. This is a very magnificent book that is not on bookshelves in America, but it's powerful. Listen. In a chapter called Al-Asr, meaning the time, Muslims pray 5 times a day, but there is a prayer that we pray that is called Salatul Asr, and the Asr prayer comes when the sun has fallen away from its zenith and is like midpoint between the zenith and its setting. We measure time by the Earth's rotation on its axis and its revolution around the sun. So the earth could not rotate on her axis without the light of the sun, nor could she revolve around the sun without the light of the sun. So it is our relationship to the sun that gives us our days and our years. So this chapter is called The Time. The Time. And if you don't have your watch, if you know the sun and the relationship of the earth, you can look at the sun and tell the time. You can look at the shadows even and tell the time by the shadow. Listen now. So Allah says in the Quran, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, by the time surely man is in loss, except those who believe and do good and enjoin one another to truth and enjoin on one another patience. Very pregnant. I'd like to deliver a few babies here. By the time, the word or the preposition by means that the time is the criterion by which actions are judged. Listen. By the time, surely man is in loss. Why is man losing? His actions are not corresponding with the dictates of the time. When you are out of time, have you ever tried to plant out of time? Nothing happens. Have you ever tried to harvest out of time? Nothing happens. When you go to the disco, if the music is beat, what is that? Time. And your dance gotta be what? Right in accord with the time. But if you don't know how to dance, you can't keep that time, and people don't want to dance with you because you're not keeping time. Have you ever been in a band and the drummer who is keeping the time can't keep that time? He speeds it up, then he slows it down. No musician can play with a drummer that doesn't keep time. Everything is done by time. The whole human body is based on rhythm. So when you sing the song, I got rhythm, I got rhythm, what you talking about? You think that means a Negro that got a lot of rhythm. But look, this heart has a rhythm that it has to keep. When it speeds up or slows down, this is a worry for a doctor, the vital sign. Rhythm, pulse, beat, blood pressure, rhythm, timing. Everything is on time. But when you get out of sync, out of time, things don't go well for you. When the body is not working rhythmically right, the organs begin to work at odds, and it creates dis-ease or disease. Time. What time is it? Not by this watch. What time is it? By the universal clock. Each prophet that came into the world marked time. And if you can't read the prophets, you can't read the clock. And if you don't know the time, then you don't know what you should be doing. And if you don't know what to do and you don't know the time, then you're about to lose not only what you have, but you can lose your life because you're not on time. Now this, y'all all right? Please follow me now. The sun, when it reaches its zenith, you watch, the shadow is very short. When the sun rises in the east and strikes an object, the shadow is long in the west. But when that sun reaches the zenith, the shadow has drawn up from the west back to the object. And as the sun starts setting, the shadow starts going back toward the east. A lot of wisdom in that. When that sun is setting, it's like saying that a world's time is coming to an end. And if you notice, when the sun sets, it sets in the west. And if you watch one of these beautiful sunsets, the sky looks like it's on fire. And this is what God threatens the world with at the end. It is total fire. The Western world has exercised power over all the darker people of the earth. You agree? Yes, sir. Yeah. The light shined in the east, and the shadow on the Western powers gave a long shadow in the west, meaning the Western world or white world began an ascendancy to power. But it's Asr now. It's afternoon. The sun is setting on white world supremacy. Listen, just listen. Don't get emotional. Just listen. That kind of apartheid, I'm better because I'm white, that don't work anymore. It's being challenged by the rising sun. Go ahead. The sun rose in the east again. The Japanese, you beat them in war, but now they're beating you in economy, in technology, in mathematics, in banking. Their society is much further advanced than this one. America is being a loser. She's decaying, not because somebody is more powerful on the outside, but there is a rot and a decadence going on inside America that is bringing this nation down. I'm appealing to you, black and white, Jew and Gentile. We all live in America, but America cannot continue to exist as she is. Listen, the sun is now setting on Western world.
Welcome back. Now, you have heard the video. It's an important video. All of us need to hear that. Mostly black people. Louis Farrakhan is one of the ministers that I have grown in this content. I've grown watching his videos. I think I've watched a number of his videos, and I love the work he does, because he is the one who was one of the people who has pushed me to do this kind of content. And why or how did Farrakhan, or why Farrakhan say that America will fall? Because he studied history. He looked at the empires of the past. He looked Babylon. He looked Rome, he looked Egypt, Greece, Britain, okay? And he saw the same pattern. So every empire rises on power, on wealth, but when it becomes arrogant, when it oppresses others, when it turns its backs on justice, the empire will always collapse, okay? Now, I have talked in a number of videos about this. I've done videos and videos about the America falling of America. That's the thing we are talking about. But I'll say this. This nation of America was built on stolen land, was built on stolen labor, was built on stolen lives. The Native Americans were wiped out so that you can have the America of today. Enslaved Africans. Africans were enslaved. Immigrants from Asia were exploited. And yet America has the audacity to call itself the land of freedom. It has never been the land of freedom. It isn't the great land too. Now, Farrakhan said the kind of hypocrisy cannot last forever, okay? A nation that rises on the blood of others cannot sustain itself. Now, let me say this. It's not only Farrakhan, but a number of white scholars, white professors, they have come out and said what he said, something like this. But I just played the video of Farrakhan because he's one of the people who inject directly without sugarcoating, okay? Now, Farrakhan didn't just say America will fall, but he said, black people, this is not your fight. Let's talk about that. This is not your fight. Because for 400 years, black Americans, black people have been fighting battles that were never theirs. They have been fighting wars that were never theirs. They fought World War I. They fought in World War II. They fought in Vietnam. They fought in Iraq. They fought in Afghanistan. And they shed blood. They shed blood for a country that never shed tears for them. For a country that never accepted them. Even right now, as we are speaking, many black people are caught in the middle of political wars between Republicans and Democrats. But just ask yourself a simple question. Has either side truly cared about black people? Has either side truly cared about liberation? Has either side truly the damage of slavery? No, nothing has happened. They use black people when they need them. They use us when they need us. And when they are done, they throw us back into poverty. They throw us back into broken neighborhood. They throw us back into schools that fail black people. Now, when a minister like Farrakhan is saying a word that this is not your fight, he was freeing your mind. He is freeing our mind. He's saying, stop bleeding for a nation that was never or has never healed you. Stop dying for a country that never lived for you. And that's why each and every time when there is an issue that have been raised in America, you will see people saying, this is not our fight. Don't fall for the bait. You will see black Americans coming out and say, let's not go to the street. This is not our fight. When DJT took power and he started signing bills that were affecting America, that were affecting white Americans too. White Americans, Asian Americans, Latin Americans, all were crying, but black people were quiet. And people thought that, why are they laughing? Why are they happy? It's because we as black people have fought a number of fights that today, we are just sitting aside and watching the downfall of the people who didn't listen when we told them that this will happen. Sitting aside and watching white farmers crying. Sitting aside and watching white working class having awakening because of the economy is bad. It was because some people said something important. This is not your fight. And our mind are being freed from bleeding for the country that does not heal you. Now, instead of fighting wars that are not yours, then build yourself. Build yourself, unite with Africa, invest in your communities, and prepare the day of when America power will finally crumble. Because when it does, it's very automatically that Africa will take over. And this is the reality. Africa is taking over. Africa is taking over. Okay? Now, we have signs of America declined. Sign number one is the economy. Because America is drowning in trillions of dollars of debt, okay? The dollar is losing strength. Nations are turning into different currencies. And their empire of money is shaking, okay? Now, again, we have politics. America is more divided than ever before. Right now, Republicans and Democrats don't just agree. They hate each other. The government shuts down. Leaders fight like children. This is the things that we never thought it will happen in Great America, because they were saying they are perfect politically, civilization. We are smart, intellectual. We were seeing just fights in parliaments of African parliament. But right now, when American leaders does not agree to each other. Okay? Another signs, it is race relation. We have global power. Okay? Nations like China, Russia, and African countries are rising. And the world doesn't fear America like it used to, because the influence of America is shrinking. Okay? Now, when you hear these signs, what does it come in your mind? Do you think the empire there's a decline? Okay? Does it sound like Rome before it fall? It is the same thing, the same pattern. Okay? So with all this happening, many black people are still holding on. Many black people are still hoping that America will finally give them justice. It will never. Justice will come if black people, you take the lead. You take the lead. You change your mindset. Unite. Accept that Africa are our people. Accept that Africa is our motherland. Accept to connect with the motherland. Because don't depend on an empire that is falling. I have seen, sorry to say, but a lot of black Americans, they accept Africa and they are ready to unite. They are ready. They unite with, Africans, Caribbeans. Things are going okay. But few of them are so much arrogant. They are like, we have never been African. We can't be Africans like this. But why are you holding on an empire that is going down and down and down? And you know the reasons. You know the reasons why it is falling. Okay? Now, I usually say America is the modern Babylon. I know you say that too. America is the modern Babylon. Okay? Because when you look at the Bible, we see stories that they are not just ancient tales, but prophetic. They are prophecies. Because Babylon was a city of wealth, a city of power, beauty, but it was a city of arrogance too, a city of sin, bloodshed. Okay? And what happened? It fell. So Farrakhan has always called America the modern Babylon, and he said this: America is the fulfillment of the scripture, a nation that rises high but falls because it turned it back against on God and oppressed his chosen people. You are a chosen people. And the earlier you agree, one thing I don't like about black people, one thing I don't like about Africans, one thing I don't like about us, it is giving me headache, is that we fail to love ourselves. Once you don't love yourself, you cannot see yourself as the descendant of kings and queens. Once you don't love yourself, you cannot agree to the reality that your ancestors were the inventors, that your ancestors were great mathematicians, were great scientists. Once you don't love yourself, you cannot accept that there is a superpower behind our black skin. You need to love yourself as a black man. You need to love yourself. It's the first education we need to take, and then we go to unity, because we cannot unite if we don't love each other. Let me tell you, I've seen a lot of black people selling themselves, their souls to white people. Like personally, when I was growing up, we were seeing white people and we were like, you are worshiping white people. I told you a story in one of my videos that when I was in primary 4, primary 5, I was in a certain school, not a government school, it was private school. And we had these white people who are coming in our schools after every year, I think, donating footballs, tennis balls. Oh my God, it was awesome. It was awesome. Toys, aeroplane toys, car toys. And we were like, God damn it, these are God-sent people. Little did I know that things will come to change one day. And I came to realize that those aids they were giving us, it wasn't because of pure love. Maybe some of them were meaning it, but those gestures have been used a number of times by the white supremacists to belittle Africans, to see we are primitive, to see we have no future. You see, right now I'm like, damn, schools need to be provided balls, curriculum activities, these items by government. But why? Government is not providing. Why? This is coming from white people as Red Cross, as help, as aid, So I'll say this. One reason America cannot escape judgment is because of black people. We as black people are the whiteness of her crimes, okay? Or the witness of the crimes, okay? We are the witness of American crimes, because forever or for over 400 years, we have carried the scars of slavery. We are the proof of the hypocrisy. They say that all men were created equal, but chained us in the field. They said liberty and justice for all, but lynched us on the trees. They said freedom, but locked black people in prisons. And today, we are still being unalived on the streets, still being denied opportunities, still fighting just to breathe. And that's why Farrakhan said these words: it is not our fight, Because when God judges a nation, he judges it based on how it treated the least of this. Okay? And in America, the least of these were always black people. Okay? We are the testimony and we are the evidence. And guess what, my family? The evidence has already been presented and the verdict is already scaled. America is guilty. Now, I'll say this. Why do you think they are panicking about immigrants right now? Okay? Why do you think they are passing voter suppression laws? Why do you think they are crying about diversity and inclusion? It is because they know that time of power is running out. White people used to walk with arrogance, but now many walk with fear. Okay? They walk with fear. They walk with the fear that numbers are against them. They walk with the fear that black people, Latinos, Asians, and immigrants will outnumber them. That's why it's being said in 2045, the black white people will not be the majority white again. They will be minority. So that is a fear. And this fear is a sign. It shows the foundation of shaking. Because when the rulers of nations start panicking, it means that the empire is no longer secure. Okay? And yet, they want black people to fight for America. They want black people to defend America. They want black people to shed black blood for America. Okay? But Farrakhan told us, he told black people, no, this is not our fight. Okay? Now, some of us are still waiting for America to change. No, America will not change. I know some of us are still waiting or are still chasing the American dream. Some of Africans are still going, they want to go to America. They are here selling lands, getting some visas to go to America. Because they still believe there is a dream, there is milk and honey in America. It is not like that. You need to have friends, black American friends. Let them tell you the reality, how it is. It is tough. Don't sell your property. Don't sell your property for the American dream, okay? Now, I'm not going on with it. Let me finish here. I have a lot to say, but Farrakhan has said a lot about this, okay? So I will leave it to you on the comment section. Tell me what you think. Until next episode, peace out.